Oh, hey. Eh. Hi. Hello there.
Hello there.
And welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor. I game and stream under the handle of MagicSilver Gaming, and I just completed my first month of consistently streaming on Twitch. So today, I actually want to go over some of my analytics. I'd also like to go over some learning points, things that I picked up that I'm hopefully going to implement going forward. And then lastly, I want to go over some tips that'll hopefully help you get started with streaming on Twitch. But first, a message from our sponsor on today's video, Tebow the puppy.
Tebow! Ah! Tebow!
So let's go ahead and start off with what we've achieved so far. Firstly, we fulfilled the requirements to make Twitch affiliate, and for those unfamiliar with the requirements for affiliate, they are: you need to have 50 followers, need to stream for at least 8 hours, you need to stream on 7 different days, and then you need to have an average concurrent viewership of at least 3. So my channel currently is up to 122 followers, hopefully still growing. I'm averaging a concurrent viewership of 5 at the moment, which also has been showing signs of improvement these last few days. I currently have 10 Twitch subscriptions, which is 100% all people I know personally, and we'll get into that later. And after all is said and done, after this first 30 days, I have revenue of $29.10 that I unfortunately can't access until I hit 100. Overall, astronomically more successful than I thought I could potentially be in a first month of streaming. And that leads me into a few learning points that I picked up that I can hopefully grow from myself as well. So the first learning point that I picked up on this beginning of my journey on Twitch is that it's going to be pretty hard to grow on Twitch alone. And by pretty hard, I mean damn near impossible. So with that, I've been trying to make an effort to really expand myself otherwise. I've been utilizing, Instagram, Twitter, hopefully now more consistently YouTube, as a way to really get in touch with people, kind of get to know them, make friends, and hopefully those friends turn around and become viewership. And the caveat I bring to that is, don't go looking for people only for viewership. If you want to make a community, you also have to be a community member. Don't be afraid to watch their stream, interact, be part of the group. Because when you do that, typically people are more apt to come visit you as well, and potentially even become the start of your community. Because, as we all know, Twitch is not a searchable platform. Anyone that's spent any amount of time on Twitch can tell you the only real searchability is by your amount of views. So when you are a small guy like me, you're sitting down at the bottom with, anywhere from 2 to 10 viewers, you're not likely to be found in the sea of hundreds and thousands of view channels. Which really just drives home that point that you gotta grow somewhere else and bring that viewership to Twitch. And my second learning point, it's one that I personally had to deal with a bit, and I'd also like to hear if maybe you experience this a little bit yourself as well. But I like to sum this one up as, your growth is strictly your own. And here's what I mean by that. It's really easy to get caught in the trap of looking at other people's channels, seeing their growth, seeing their viewership, and comparing it to your own. And it's really not a good mindset to fall into. It's very easy for us to look at our own channel and say, oh yeah, we're doing a way better job than this guy, or I should have way more followers than this guy, or this guy's getting a lot of bits and subscriptions, why aren't I? There's so many different unique variables involved. At a baseline, yes, we're all on a streaming platform, we're playing video games, and we're playing them for strangers to hopefully come in and watch. But above that, we don't know all the circumstances into it. We don't know how much are their friend group. We don't know what their networking is otherwise. They could have brought an audience from YouTube, for example. Or they could have Instagram fame, TikTok, hell, anything. All of those are valuable resources that you can bring to Twitch. And if they had those already, they had a real big jump start on it. And that's where I try to bring it back to. You really just got to focus on your growth. Pay attention to your analytics. See what you're doing that could do better. See what you're streaming that your chat is more active in, or that more viewership naturally comes in. Learn from yourself and try to learn from others, but not get completely involved in them. And now I want to go over just a few tips that I think really helped start out my success relative on Twitch thus far in this first 30 days. So the first major tip is to utilize your network. And I already know what you're saying. You're looking at me and saying, well, Trevor, I don't have a network. I just started on Twitch, Instagram, wherever it may be. And that's where you'd be wrong. Everybody comes with some network already, whether it be acquaintances that you game with, family members, friends, coworkers potentially. There's really no reason to stream to nobody. Odds are you do have someone that is willing to support you, and don't be afraid to reach out to them. I know that was a hurdle for myself that I really had to overcome. Typically very bashful when it comes to my hobbies, especially ones where I'm kind of putting myself out there in a sense, like YouTube and Twitch. But once I was able to overcome that, really reach out, I got to know that some of my friends are on Twitch more than I thought. I was surprised to find out that some of my friends were gamers, period. I was also pleasantly surprised to find out that some of my coworkers enjoyed Twitch, something that I'd never really talked about with them because I've typically been more of a closet nerd. You know, finding those initial people at the start of your journey can really help springboard you into the light. That'll get you out of that pit of the 0 and 1 viewer streams and whatever it is that you're streaming. It starts to bring you further forward. It gets you closer to that front page and ultimately helps guide your success early. Because, as I mentioned before, Twitch is not searchable. You're just not going to be found on your own anymore. Those days are unfortunately dead and gone. And I know that there's obviously going to be exceptions out there, but for the majority of people on the platform, you're really going to have to try to get found. And then my next tip is it's a little bit more of a controversial one. I see this kind of go around a lot, and I feel a certain way about it. It's the philosophy that you need to treat streaming as a hobby and do it for fun and not expect it to be more than that. I kind of see that a lot in various social media platforms that people say that, and I feel like it just kind of dooms you from the start. You know, if you're not treating it like a job, this is likely never going to become your job. And this really just kind of circles back to that previous point of, you know, just logging seat time and being online and streaming to nobody or a couple somebodies isn't really going to do it anymore. Twitch is no longer this new platform that's growing. It's grown, it's known, and people want a piece of it. So to set yourself apart from those, you're really going to have to treat it like a business. You're going to have to put yourself out there in multiple forms. Like I mentioned prior, you got YouTube. You're going to have Instagram, you know, TikTok if that's your thing, Twitter if that's your thing, Facebook. You're really going to have to try to market yourself if you really want to see any realistic growth on your channel. And that's the only way that it can become your job. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. You know, comment below. Let me know if you think I'm way off base or if you think there's some wiggle room in between. I'd love to hear it. And so I hope this helped you out. I know it's definitely helped me just with planning it and getting a realization of things that I should also be doing or working stronger to do. And I hope it gave you a little bit of the insight on, you know, potentially what a first month could be. And again, you know, results vary, as I mentioned. But this is kind of a baseline that I, wanted to document for myself, maybe potentially make this a series down the road, see how the growth becomes or where it levels out at. If this did help you out, hit that like button, leave a comment in the bottom, let me know what really called out to you. And as well, you can find me live on Twitch. I've been streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings, typically around 8 p.m. Arizona time. It's a moving goalpost. Sometimes we're PST, sometimes we're Mountain. But you can find that link in the bottom, and it's twitch.tv/MagicSilver Gaming. But that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully see you on Twitch.
You can stay if you want. Ralph won't hurt you.
Do we stay or? I mean, that's fuck it. We're staying. We're risking it.
We'll just stay the night.
We're gonna trust Ralph.
Come on.
Oh, look how happy he is now.
Come on.
What a total mood switch. Went from I'm gonna slit your fucking throat to let's have a
Ralph, look, your sister
sleepover.
ran away.